Welcome to Patent Shark. The following is an introduction to Section 112 rejections in patent law. So let's get started. What are the common types of 112 rejections? The two most common type are Section 112 first paragraph rejections and Section 112 second paragraph rejections. A 112 rejection usually means that the claims, as written, are not in full, clear, concise, and exact terms. Now, usually, this may be a grammatical error or flaw in the claim that can be easily corrected, and it usually does not require that the scope of the claims be narrowed in order to overcome this rejection. Section 112 first paragraph is also called the enablement requirement or the written description requirement. And it states, the specification shall contain a written description of the invention and of the manner and process of making and using the invention in such full, clear, concise, and exact terms so as to enable any person that's skilled in the art to which it pertains or with which it is most nearly connected to make and use the invention, and shall also set forth the best mode contemplated by the inventor. So basically, 112 first paragraph enablement is it's an inquiry or analysis of whether the applicant or the inventor, the person who filed the application, was in possession of the invention that he or she seeks to patent. And it also ensures that the inventor had possession, as of the filing date of the application, of the specific subject matter that is being claimed. Now, all the claims are subject to the written description requirement, okay? And that's original claims, new claims, amended claims, or claims asserting benefit of an earlier priority or filing date. So why don't we do an example to see if we can understand this concept. We have Claim 1. Claim 1 is an independent claim, and Claim 1 states, a candy comprising a soft chocolate center covered in a hard candy colored coating. Claim 2 is a dependent claim and depends from Claim 1, and it states, the candy of Claim 1 where the coating is blue. And Claim 3 is another dependent claim that depends from Claim 1 and states, the candy of Claim 1 wherein the center further comprises a peanut. Now, what does the specification say of this patent? Well, the specification discloses candy that is typically brightly colored, such as red, yellow, blue, and brown. The candy has a soft chocolate inside surrounded by a hard candy shell. And the inside could also contain peanuts, almonds, peanut butter, or other edible material. Now, this is specifically stated in the specification of the application as was filed. Now, do the claims meet the written description requirement under Section 101, first paragraph? Well, let's ask ourselves some question. Does the specification sufficiently identify the relevant characteristics? Yes, the specification clearly discloses that the complete structure of the candy, soft chocolate inside followed by hard candy shell. What is the level of skill in the candy art? Well, it's pretty low, so a description of how to make or actually a reduction to practice is really not required for this patent. And how predictable is the art? Well, it seems that the candy making art is pretty predictable. We're all very familiar with it. So, do the species claims have support in the specification? Well, the specification clearly discloses a candy comprising a soft chocolate center covered in a hard candy with multiple species of colored coatings. That's Claim 1. Now, regarding Claim 2, the specification also specifically states that the coating could be blue. And regarding Claim 3, the specification also specifically states that the inside could be or contain a peanut. So, because the specification discloses several examples of the colors and of the edible materials that could be added to the chocolate center, and because the candy making art is well established and the skill is very low, the specification in this case would be considered by one of ordinary skill in the art to be adequate to describe, the colors for the candy shell and the edible materials to add to the chocolate center. So the specification is adequate. It does adequately describe claims 1 to 3. So therefore, the 112 first paragraph requirement is met in this case. So here are some tips regarding section 112 first paragraph. The subject matter which is well known or conventional to one of ordinary skill in the art need not be disclosed in detail. So in this case, the inventor or the patent attorney who wrote this application didn't have to write 10 or 20 pages of, how do you make chocolate? Okay, that's just not necessary. It's just something that's common. Also, exact wording of a claim is not required. And also, limitations may be supported through express, implicit, or inherent disclosure. Now, let's move over to section 112, second paragraph. This is also called the definiteness requirement. The specification shall conclude with one or more claims, particularly pointing out and distinctly claiming the subject matter which the applicant regards as his invention. So, what is the definiteness requirement? Definiteness of claim scope. One skilled in the art must be able to determine, with a reasonable degree of certainty, the metes and bounds of the claim. So the claims, they cannot be vague or indefinite and must clearly set forth what the boundaries of protection are. Subject matter claimed must be what the inventor believes is the invention, and you cannot claim other subject matter. So, an indefinite rejection is generally proper if the applicant discloses a definition in the specification, but the definition is not clear and precise to one of ordinary skill in the art, or if the applicant's usage of some type of a term in the claims is inconsistent with their disclosure regarding the term in the specification. And again, or if the applicant uses a claim term that is not used or defined in the specification and the meaning is not easily discernible. So in those instances, a definiteness or 112 second paragraph rejection is appropriate by an examiner. Why don't we do an example to get a better understanding of this? Let's say we have claim 1, which is an independent claim, and claim 1 states in the preamble, a method of making an asphalt concrete composition, the method comprising the following 4 steps. First step, heating a mineral aggregate to a temperature of 325 degrees to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, preferably, between 350 to 450. Step 2, admixing said mineral aggregate with a rubber aggregate. Step 3, admixing a fibrous material with said aggregate. And step 4, admixing said asphalt cement with said dry mix to form a hot wet mix. So that's independent claim 1. Let's do the analysis. Now, in the first instance, we had some preferred ranges of materials in the claim. This is permissible and is no longer considered to be indefinite. However, there is an issue in step 4 where the claim states said asphalt cement. However, there's no antecedent basis for said. In other words, this is the very first instance of asphalt cement, so therefore it should say a asphalt or an asphalt cement. How about claim 2? Let's say that claim 2 states the method according to claim 1, wherein the first time period is 15 seconds. Again, this is an antecedent basis issue because the claim states the first time period. It should state a first time period because this is the very first instance that this term is being introduced into the claims. Let's look at a third claim, a dependent claim. Let's say the third claim states the method according to claim 1, wherein said temperature is between 300 to 360 Fahrenheit. Well, there is an issue with this claim because in the first claim, the temperature range was defined as 325 to 500. And the lower end of the temperature range is outside of that range. Let's look at a few more dependent claim examples to get a better understanding of this. Let's say we have claims 7 and 8, which are dependent from claims 5 or 6 or 5 to 7. Claim 7 states that the composition of any of claims 5 or 6 wherein said rubber aggregate has a particle size of something. And then the composition of any of claims 5 to 7 wherein said polyester fibers are within a certain range for length and diameter. Well, there are some problems with these claims. First of all, claim 8 is missing a period at the end of it. It's ending with a question mark. You can't end a claim with a question mark. So a period is required there. And also claim 8 is improper because it depends from another multiple dependent claim. So that's not also permissible. So this example gives you guys some understanding of 112 second paragraph issues that may be found in claims. Well, sharks, congratulations. You now have some basic shark tools for understanding 112 first paragraph rejections and 112 second paragraph rejections. As you go on in your career and you practice patent prosecution, you will see many of these 112 issues pop up, and you will come up with many different strategies to overcome them. And I hope that this gave you a basic understanding of the foundation of how to go about this. Again, thank you very much.